Hello, good afternoon again. My name is David from Every Success Driving School of Motoring. Today video is just a basic educational video about safe driving for life. And the main topic is about, should you drive with one hand? Is it legal to drive with one hand? Yes, I hear a lot of people say it's legal to drive with one hand. There's no rules in any book to say anywhere that you can't. I don't agree with it. However, now it begs the question: why would anyone want to say to their pupil it's okay to drive with one hand, long as you don't lose control? They never even use the word long as you don't lose control. But the moral of the story is that emergency stop can arise at any time, so you need to keep both hands on the steering. You need to. It's a must. It's obligatory that you keep both hands on the steering. When I say obligatory meaning to me it's obligatory, even though it's not written down in law. Now, my cry is that why would anyone want to play with legality? Why would you want to do that? Especially if it works against you. Imagine someone now drives into you, and it's undeniable. Therefore, you got witnesses, you got CCTV camera from the streets, or your dash cam, or people coming towards you, willing to give you a witness statement. Police coming to see. Because let's say example, you was injured, and the police man or woman asks you what's happening. Obviously they caution you first. Then you tell them in your own words, this car crashed into you, and then the police person asks you, what was you doing? And then you tell them one hand was resting on your lap, and you had one hand on the steering, and as soon as they crashed into you, there's nothing you can do other than hit the brakes. But by the time you put your hand back to the steering, it's too late. They crashed into you. So how do you feel? Do you need any medical assistance? You say yes. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. You say yes, and then when you speak to your insurance and you tell them the exact same thing what happened, your insurance literally it can be rescinded, because you're basically driving without due care and attention. And let's say you cry and you say it's not written down there anywhere, and they say yes, it's true. But remember, our policy states, and we've told you on the phone, that you have a duty of care. But you should know you should be only driving with one hand if you're using the car controls. That's the only time you should be driving with one hand. Some people may even say that I've been driving like this way for years and nothing happened. And it's probably true, nothing has happened. But what if? Do you really want that probability to come lightly? Because I would say to someone, even if they've been driving for 40, 50 or 60 years with one hand on the steering, or sometimes no one, I would say, what's the probability of something happening in a million? They can't say zero. They literally cannot say zero. I said, with that number what you've given me, even if you say one, but it's going to be more than one chance in a million, or even in a zillion, it's going to be more than that. So you have to say. So I will say to that person, why would you want for it to be probable? Okay, for that there to be some form of risk is going to be involved. Why would you? Why would you want to put yourself at a disadvantage? And not only that, I don't understand why some instructors don't insist like me. I insist, because I tell them insurance, they just won't pay out. They won't pay out because you're not driving in accordance to your insurance policy. Because remember, us as instructors, even if we're not instructor, if you're someone who's not instructor and you're still teaching them, you still have a duty of care. There's some people out there is well decorated and said it's not written down anywhere, that you can you have to drive when you're driving. It's okay that you drive with no hands on the steering. And the person quoted It's not written down anywhere that you can't do that. What is quoted, it said, is that you must be in control of your vehicle. And the person quoted, and it said, and was videoing it, saying that they're in control. And they were in control. And it's true. But what if, and touch wood, piece of paper, the nearest thing next to me, that nothing like that happens to anyone. And all people need to do, remember, they have a duty of care to themselves, if they're a learner or not. They have a duty to care of themselves and also to other road users. They have a duty of care and act accordingly to their license. That learner knows when they apply for their learner license. It tells you how you must behave once you've got that license, and even when you've got a full license, it tells you how you must behave. So people shouldn't play around with legality. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Your life is more important, and your health is more important than to play with legality. You just never know. So you got to think about the two basic things: situation and awareness. You have to be aware every single time, because the situation, it can literally change any time. And you get the classic lines from some people will say, oh, he or she came out of nowhere. So that's impossible. There's no such thing as nowhere. There's always somewhere. So what I will say to that person, so there's no misunderstanding. What are you saying? That person in their vehicle, they were cloaked. Most people don't. Well, no one, whoever I've asked, being a friend, they don't know what that word means, cloaked. And cloak, what it means is like you press a button, they appeared. You press a button, now they've disappeared. And the answer would always be no. And all you need to be doing, anyone, is just literally just paying attention. And the main thing is take responsibility. Take responsibility for your own actions. That's what you must do. It's literally a must. That's a must. Take responsibility. Long as you're doing the right thing, you don't need to worry about what other people are doing. So that way, you don't need to worry about your insurance being declined or not paid out. So imagine if you suffer bad injuries. You may need compensation from the other person, but you're not going to get it because your insurance don't want to pay out because you've been negligent to yourself. And in some ways, you're not partly to blame. In some ways, if that's what you was told, that is okay. But in another ways, you are fully to blame. You are fully to blame because you should know you have a duty of care. You should know when you're taught the emergency stop, to keep both hands on the steering. You should know also from the very first lesson you're taught to use two hands majority of the time, unless you're using the car controls like the gears, the signals, the lights, the demister, etc., etc., etc. That's it. Thanks for listening.